I will do my best.
Stop.
Is that all you guys did?
Yeah.
We're gonna get right to a problem. I'm back.
Whoa. Overcut your eyeballs.
Wow.
See, we decided we're gonna not count that.
No, I need every completion.
Wait, so yeah, do you want me to redo
Joke's on you.
Wait, yeah, so
You need every completion grade you can get. Have you ever not turned in a complete the homework assignment?
No, but I'm saying you're not counting this one.
It doesn't change anything.
So
Because if you always complete every completion assignment, your homework
homework
average
grade
is
is
always
100.
going to be 100, no matter how many times you do it.
Yeah. All right. The only thing that I would do is if for some reason you forgot a day, then it would make that 50 not as noticeable. But really very little. You've done so many assignments over the course of this semester and last
Hey, you.
You got that?
Someday I got like a 50.
One time I got a 0.
Depends on how it is. All
I
right.
got a 20.
So, equilibrium position of a charge is the location at which the net force is acting on that charge is 0. Doesn't mean that the forces are 0. It means the net force is 0, like I so awfully messed up the other day. So what we are going to do today is we are going to have a few charges, and we're going to figure out where you would want to put a charge in between them that would cause it to be in equilibrium. So, this problem says 3 charges lie along the x-axis. 1 positive charge, okay. Why do they start with that one? They started with the second charge. Stupid. Okay. Sorry. Not you guys. Problem.
Okay, probably. There is no I in
Okay. So this is the origin. So it's really this charge. Because they decided to say that the first charge is not at the origin, which is dumb. Okay, are they both positive charges? Looks like it.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's super hard.
Then it says, at what point on the x-axis must a negative charge be placed
Oh, that sucks.
so that the resultant force on that charge is 0? So we got to figure out
Like yes,
where
check.
in here we have to put it. So let's just say we put it randomly there.
Definitely.
That charge, what is the charge of that? Does it say?
No, it's negative.
It's negative. We don't need to know the charge, and I'll show you why. I'll show you.
Because repelling and attracting would be the same.
I'll show you. Okay, but first off, this is going to attract, right? So the force is going to be that way. And this is going to attract, so the force is going to be that way. So we want to put this negative somewhere in here so those forces equal out. And it's not going to be directly in the middle because these charges aren't exactly the same, are they?
No, sir.
Or towards
That force on
In
what?
theory, on this charge.
Oh, I thought you were talking like on the
Which one's
positive
strongest?
ones.
Yeah. So in theory, if I'm looking at this, I'm probably going to be close. Wait, are they both microcoulombs?
Yeah. Question.
It's gonna be closer to 50.
Closer to the 6.
Why would you be?
But you're close to 15 because it's
Six.
stronger
You
pull,
mean
or
closer
the
to
6 because you
Six.
further
Why would
than
you-
15
why would
down.
You want to be closer to this
That's what I
Why?
Are you?
because this is a stronger charge. So
Oh.
if I get further away from it, it weakens that force.
I thought when you do that, I was saying how much it's gonna pull it.
Yeah, this one's going to pull more,
Yeah.
but to get it at equilibrium, I want it further away so that the force that both of these exert are equal.
So that's.
It's at-
That's just when you do that, I thought you were saying that's how far it's like pulling.
No, no, no.
And you look like
should have
it's
pulled
pulling.
No, I just made, I moved the length of the arrows. Probably more like that. Okay. So, I want to know when the charge or the force exerted by this on this and this on this are equal. So what I can do is I can set them up equal to each other. So I
Oh,
said
right.
force. First off, it's really dumb. This is Q2, isn't
Yeah.
it? This is Q1. Okay, in the rest of your problems in your homework, usually your Q1 is at the origin.
It also doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't, it just, you'll see that the equation I give you, it will have a Q1 and Q2, and it will be different for your homework problem, which I'll explain. In the end, it doesn't matter, but if I'm gonna give you an equation that removes all of the derivations.
In theory, couldn't you place it infinitely away from either point and it would have a net charge?
Yes, you could blow it up and it would not.
Take that in.
Alright, so, I'm gonna say this is Q3. So for the net force to be 0, the F on 3 by 2 must equal the F on 3 by 1, correct?
Correct.
They're equal and opposite, they'd be opposite numbers, or opposite signs, but we know that they're gonna be opposite signs based on the direction. Does that make sense? Okay? Well, don't we have an equation for force that we can then plug in here? Yes, what?
But won't the Q1 and Q2 forces on each other have an impact?
Yes, absolutely, but we're gonna assume we're in a frictionless vacuum.
Uh-huh.
So we don't have to.
And
Do
also,
what?
not
We have to do the whole Q1, Q2.
Yeah, we do, but we're not gonna say that these guys are affecting each other. That's what we're assuming.
those two are fixed.
We're assuming that these
Oh,
charges aren't going to affect each other, when in reality, wouldn't this one cause this one to repel or vice versa?
Yeah.
Which would then change the distance between this, which would then, you see how much more difficult that would be?
Well, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it'd be virtually impossible as well.
Unless you push it in.
Anyways, so, okay, so F on, force on 3 by 2 would be KC, Q3, Q2, all over the R between 3 and 2.
Wow.
Okay, every time I see you-
It's the same
all I
equation
do
that we
is,
used to find
you
out
know,
electric. Why isn't that squared?
It should be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kramer, you said you're gonna start writing your Q's like I write mine.
It's very hard to break a habit.
Is that how you always?
All you gotta do is,
That's how you write
Wait, how
those
does
down
that-
and then draw one.
I know how to do it.
And one.
Hey, that's how you draw a Q
Let's
in
use it.
cursive.
I do it on just like a 9.
Don't
actually
break it.
kind of.
Really, I put like a tiny.
So Kramer, be your
I
own
like
man.
a whole tail on it.
Kramer, be your own man. Leave yours.
I already do it. Then you
Give-
already do that.
give firm
It's a
hugs.
9 in the equation.
You're salty, aren't you?
No, I'm not
Just add a
salty.
little-
But I did think about that.
Bryce has not stopped.
It's okay. I'm just a feeler. You're not. It's okay.
Oh, Bryce has no feelings.
Bryce
No.
doesn't feel.
No, no,
I heard Bryce
I'm
say-
emotionless.
I heard Bryce.
All right.
On the basketball court, maybe.
Now, does everybody
Yeah, that's
see
like
why
hard.
Q3 does not matter in this problem?
I see, said the blind man.
Q3.
Oh, because the kids.
Because they,
Voila. Voila. What else can't we do?
KC.
case.
Oh, JK, I'm an idiot.
Hey, what?
Kentucky treated.
Oh, because they're the same on each side.
Kentucky
Okay.
Fried
Where is
Chicken.
it not an idiot? No.
Okay.
There's two eyes.
Now, I'm gonna flip these because that's how I have it in my notes, just so I can follow along. It's a little bit better.
Tell me off with the new cube.
So, Q1 over R3 on 1 squared equals Q2
Stop.
I guess he.
Are we following so far?
Yes.
Now,
But probably not right.
here's what we have to do. we want to find the distance between them. So we have to give an arbitrary definition of distance. Here's what I mean. We're going to say the distance from here to here is variable d. We don't know it, right?
Substitution.
Because we have to figure out where it's going. We got to place it somewhere, and that's what we want to find. Then wouldn't the distance from here to there be 2 minus d?
Yes. Because that's.
So this is 2 meters between these
Oh, they gave
guys.
us that? Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that was.
Yeah, I think it says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because yeah, two.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is at the origin, this is at 2. So where this is going to be located is variable d, some unknown distance. Okay?
Okay.
From here to here would be d. From here to here would be 2 minus whatever that d is. Okay? So then I'm going to come and I'm going to plug them into here instead of dealing with these variables. Okay? 2 to 3 is just d, right?
Wait, how does that help?
I'll show you. I could have left it as r, but I like to use d because it sounds more like distance than r does to me. I could have said r and 2 minus r.
Who switched that
Is that
out?
one key?
Okay, so what I'm doing on this problem is I'm going to do the derivation, and then I'm going to give you the equation that you'll just plug and shove.
Yes.
Plug and shove.
Substitution.
Okay?
Plug and shove.
No. Derive.
Alright. Cross multiply.
Vacation, what's your?
Isaac babes.
Better write it well. There you go. Here.
No, that's not.
Okay, now I want to get rid of the squares. How do I get rid of the squares?
Square root.
No, you
Square
just
root.
straight up cross games. I know, I say like, wait, can you just, I thought you had to foil the 2 minus d.
Those are no numbers.
I know.
How are you gonna solve?
That's what I was saying.
Chill out.
Oh!
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna wait till the square root round.
Yeah, I was writing
Q1
something down
instead of
first.
Because he's getting rid of the squares.
Everybody see what I did there?
The squares after D, so wouldn't it have to go around the
No, you already did.
D? It says D squared, so then you
So
square.
I took the square root of both sides, which gets rid of the square here, but makes this doesn't have a square, so I have to put the square root there.
Oh.
And then the square root of this side gets rid of the square here, but square root's that.
I didn't know you squared.
Yeah, sorry. Everyone following where we're at so far?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to distribute now.
Ugh. Don't worry about it.
I wanna go to Derry.
Okay? I'm going to bring the d variable to the other side. This one, I'm going to move over here. And now you're seeing why I'm going to give you an equation instead of making you do this every single time?
I mean, it's the same thing every time, so you would just figure out the equation by yourself.
Yeah.
Isaac, you're being such a smart aleck.
You guys don't know what you don't know how that the square root undoes things that are squared. Here I'm just foiling or whatever, not foiling. Distributing. Okay, now I'm moving the d's over here so that I can foil out, take out the d's. And I'll explain that in a second. D is distance, yes. Okay, I want to know the distance, right? I want to know where to place this charge. That's the goal. So I need to get these d's combined into one variable. And to do that, I bring them to the same size, and now I'm going to factor it out.
Wait, shouldn't that be plus?
Yep, that's a plus. Good call.
And I'm like, how did he just switch this side?
I just brought it over here, added it to the other side. Does that make sense? Okay, this stay where it was. I'll just add it to the other side. Now, I can take out the D.
So this is Q2's No.
Oh, Crange, you're a genius. You say no, he's not? Okay, well, I don't appreciate you mocking.
Okay.
Almost. Let's solve for D.
Bye.
No, just do it by itself.
So
What?
D equals Q over Q1.
I didn't ask. You don't have to write this down.
No, I started writing it down.
I'd rather be-
Yeah, I read it, I have a problem, and I realized there's no
So I'd
numbers.
rather be doing Peter Pan now.
Well, you can plug in one of the numbers, but I think variables are quicker to write than plugging in the number.
No, I mean Peter Pan.
Everybody see? Now,
Is that it? Is that?
yeah, wait.
More log cabin.
On your note there. It's a form of it, but I have to interpret it for
You
you.
can still do R equals that.
That's it.
Same thing.
That will be how I solve it. Don't we know the Q's?
Yeah,
Then we plug in the Q's and find the D.
absolutely.
We do know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Q2 is 6 microcoulombs, which I'm going to need to put in 6 times 10 to the negative 6, correct?
So I did not have
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, theoretically, you could just solve for it. I guess that would be the way to solve it.
Theoretically, I think this is a real.
I thought that this is.
No, I'm saying, if you didn't, like, give you the equation, you could, it's the same, just doing the math to solve for R is the same way.
Oh, you know what?
Craig,
Since the coulombs just cancel out, we wouldn't need to change them to change it to coulombs. We could leave them in microcoulombs.
How does that come out as a regular? I don't care, I'm changing it.
How's that, what?
How does that come out normal? Don't you need to change it so the numbers work? To make the distance in meters? Yeah.
No, because you already have the 2 meters, so then the coulombs cancel out each other.
Yeah,
I think I'll-
this unit here should be meters.
I got
Right? This is technically 2 meters minus D.
I think
Makes sense.
so.
So the
Wait, no,
coulombs
that's not
cancel
possible.
out,
The thing's 2
give you
meters.
meters left over.
Has to be between 0 and 2.
No, it's
Yeah, so we're canceling out the coulombs.
This is 0.
Yes, it has to be.
This is.
It has to be between 0 and 2, guys.
Yes.
Why did you get rid of the square root?
Oh, yeah, because
guys?
it's the working guy. Yes.
Well, I did it. I shouldn't have.
Nice kid. On every other day.
Sorry, I should not have put counter to those.
Minus 232.
Okay, guys.
I saw that.
What'd you guys get the answer for?
The wrong answer.
You got your 233. Yeah.
Just square root on the inside.
Let me try it.
I did not.
Just square root on the inside.
I didn't do it on the
bottom.
bottom.
Wait.
That's because I forgot to write it in there.
Oh, wait, should that be an actual question?
This should be like this. I goofed. They just miraculously disappeared. I forgot to put the square root at
Oh.
the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Well, let's.
Here, would you?
Yeah, sure.
I was joking.
I don't really want to. I've done this, doesn't feel great, it doesn't hurt that bad.
I got 0.098. So, I did it wrong. 0.07 meters. Did I do it wrong again?
Okay, how about we do this? Eliminate that.
Yeah, you can get rid of
I got 1.06, or 1.07, I mean.
Eliminate that. Try that now.
Wait, it's just 1.07.
Because they're all in micro.
These are all in micro, so they just cancel out.
I don't understand that. In everything ever, we had to have it in the right unit or whatever.
We do have it in the right unit.
Yeah. I got
Whenever we did like force
Syntax error.
equals
I
mass
got-
times
well, I had two
acceleration,
I had two
those units cancel out in a way that got us the
I'm
answer.
very small.
Everything we've done so far, it's always been the same.
0.77?
What?
0.000000265.
Good job, right there.
There's your distance, but we know that technically that distance would be the distance from Q2,
Oh.
right?
So now we have to do 2 minus that
Wow.
number.
2 minus that number is gonna ask.
And it's 1.2. I got it.
So what I'm saying is this negative charge is going to be 0.77 meters from Q2, and then it would technically be 1.23 meters from Q1.
That's the answer.
Wait.
Well, I would just, you could just use that, as long as you explain it's from Q2. This is Q2.
So,
That's Q1.
So it'll always
Q2
be
is at
for
the
this
origin,
number,
though.
whatever.
It'll be a lot easier once we just use.
So why
It'd
is,
be a lot easier once you, shut up.
You.
D.
Oh, Grace, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Grace, I love you, I'm sorry.
Kramer, will it always be from the smaller number? Like what we just solved for?
I don't want to say
Wait,
that.
isn't it from Q2 to Q3?
What do you mean?
You said 0.77.
Yeah, that's the distance between Q2 and Q3.
how do you know it's from Q2 to Q3?
Because that's what we arbitrarily said this distance was.
What's the other one from?
We said this distance, the distance between Q2 and Q3 was variable D. We said the distance between Q3 and Q1 was 2 minus D. So D was 0.77, so the distance between 3 and 1 was 2 minus 0.77, which gives you that.
Oh.
Okay. So why is that? Because Q2 is at the origin, when you go from the origin to the point where you need to go?
Did he though?
I have no idea what you're showing.
Okay.
Pictures he didn't.
It says Q2 is at the origin.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you want the distance from the origin to where the point is?
Yeah, which is 0.77.
Don't leave us in.
So why did you say 1.23 was that answer?
I didn't
No,
say
that's the
1.23.
distance from the.
She doesn't.
I said that's the distance between 3 and 1.
Oh,
Because it's
I thought you
I
said.
mean, I could say 0.77 from Q2, that would be one answer. I could always say,
From Q1.
Let's put it at 9:30.
Q1, yeah. Either of these two will be correct answers.
Okay.
I don't know why I would use that one. It's just more work.
I have,
Yeah.
you could do that in the opposite order, right? Like theoretically, if you did it like.
You could say this is distance and this is like
Yeah, because then it would just, if you did the 2 minus
2
B
plus D or something like that.
Actually, that's more true reality.
I don't want to
It's
go
just
over
like-
that.
So what's the equation we should put?
Okay, can I
Yeah,
explain?
you said that.
Hey, can I explain how you're going to do this?
Sure.
We'll move this, this.
E equals 2 times 2. Okay, got it.
Alright, so I'm going to flip it. I'm gonna go,
Pop it.
Which distance? Hold it.
You can't say flip it that
D and R are the same thing, aren't they?
I know.
okay, you're probably gonna be like, oh my goodness, Mr. Kramer, what are you doing?
Wait, oh, you got it?
It's two.
Now, we had a positive, and a negative, and we said this was Q2, this was Q1, and this was Q3. Does that make sense? That's the problem we just did. In most of your problems,
There'll be 5 points.
this will be Q1. Let me make sure, just to double check. This will be Q2. And this will be Q3. Now, I want to show you that this number is your total distance. You remember how we said from here to here was 2 meters. So, if from here to here is 15 meters, that's what goes there.
Is that what we got 2 in that one?
Yeah.
I don't think that's okay. Why is the Q1?
Now stop. Now notice, the numbers I put in here were the charges of my 2 here, right? Q2 and Q1. You didn't see Q3 in there at all. Okay? So what I put in here is, notice what you don't see in the equation. Q3. Because remember those canceled out. The charge you were trying to find cancels out.
What is
Okay, notice the difference. Look at what I have at the origin versus what I have at the origin. This is always the Q at the origin.
Oh, so those two are the same equation, just.
Yes, just they said the origin Q was 2 here, but in different problems, your origin Q might be defined as Q1.
So it's always the one that's first, right?
Yeah.
This is one to origin, yeah, or yeah.
Always.
Okay, so the Q1
I
is.
hope so.
So Q2 is at the origin.
Yes, if this is Q2 here, then this is Q2.
Kind of thought is when you put Q2 plus Q1.
Yeah, no, it's in reverse order. Yeah.
No, that's normal order.
No, you don't have to.
I'm just showing you I wanted to show you the relationship between the previous problem and that it's the same equation. It's just, it can get confusing if they throw different Q's in different places.
So can't you just say Q origin instead of Q1?
Sure.
Now I'm just gonna give you, what is that? The distance between
Oh.
Q1
The
to Q origin to Q3?
The one you start out to.
You could say Q other, I don't know. Does that make more sense?
That is fair.
Maybe say Q,
The
secondary.
distance you get would be the distance between your origin and your,
Middle.
so technically you could say D
Origin and then.
origin to charge. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to show this equation when you can put different Q's in different locations. So technically, I probably should just make you do the whole process a bunch of times.
Wait, so what does this?
So you have your Q of origin in the equation and then your Q other, which is just the other Q that you use.
Let me just, can I just make up a problem and see if we can solve it?
Yes.
Or go for it.
Q1,
Q other.
It's like a. Oh, it is cool.
Q3,
But this was what
Q2. The distance from here to here is 12 meters.
Q2 is Q other.
The distance from here to here we would say is D. And the distance from here to here is 12 minus D. Okay? Let's say this charge is plus 4. This is plus 10. And we don't, they could give us a charge of this, but doesn't matter?
No.
No, so when we're doing this problem, D is equal to 12 square root of my origin charge divided by square root of my origin plus square root of my other
4 root 10
charge.
minus 8.
Let's make it easy.
What?
4 root 10 minus
Doesn't
8.
do it, and then you just did
Is that a one grade?
it. Yeah. One
Okay,
more.
another one.
Change the number.
So what's the answer?
4 root 10 minus 8.
No, it's 4.6.
And that's our,
But that didn't give you the other one,
That would
which
be
was
good.
12
It's
times.
literally a game.
but that's not, is that the answer to the problem or?
I just made up a random
Yeah, I
problem.
know.
So let's say Q1, Q3, Q2. This has a 5 coulomb charge. This has a 14 coulomb charge. Okay? The distance from here to here is 31 meters.
Wow.
Solve for where this needs to go to make them in equilibrium.
Oh, we're doing this. Oh, how am I calculating that?
Technical mistake fixes L.
Wait, is that actually right?
What do you put B to get?
For which-
11.596.
But is it from which?
From Q1 to Q3. I mean, you could do the other way around to be like.
But it's also 19.40 from Q2.
What a smarty boy. It's actually 19.40.
Wait, Q2 is the only?
No.
No, just kidding.
You're Q3.
James, you're a good teacher.
James, you're a good thinker.
James, you're a good friend.
Alright, what'd you guys get?
Wait, her answer.
11.59 meters from Q1.
Almost. But that's not our answer.
That's right.
11.59
11.59 is the distance between Q1 and Q3 because you arbitrarily are going to say that this is D
Yeah.
and this is 31 minus
So we don't
D.
need to finish and say what 31 minus D is?
You can if you want. There's actually two ways you can answer this question. You could just say, what was it, 14 point, what was it?
11.59 meters from
11.59.
11.59 meters from Q1. You could also say 31 minus that meters from Q2.
19.4.
Okay, makes sense?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no, 400 by
Yeah, but the answer is 9.
field forces are forced to have no contact. Oh, we should have taken our Bible test today, but I'm not ready for it.
Test?
Quiz.
So we can take it next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to take notes.
Who wants to come back and take this?
Yeah, you gotta take
Oh,
notes.
we're gonna small district.
Yeah, you probably doesn't have it right now.
He makes it like right before the class starts.
I don't know why. The past 2 days, 3 days teaching this class, it just wore me out.
This class?
This
Wow,
class.
Why?
that's you.
Because it's been a lot. I've had to like slow down and like.
This is a hard
Dump it
lesson.
up.
Yeah, dumb it down for us.
It's not dumb. It's just new.
And there are 2 eyes.
Was it 11.6?
Yeah.
11.56
There's 2 eyes, you're an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my word.
Got the right answer.
Oh wait, we need a book because to repeat it, right? Yeah, that's homework.
Alright, here you're giving Emily cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one who came. Oh, let's do it.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, she was. She was like, oh, I'm so upset. Okay, see
You're bad at that. I don't like it.
Don't blame me.
I don't like to give these.
I feel like most guys like the girls now.
I honestly don't care.
No, I know. I've seen some people that
Like, oh,
Like old people.
And I sent my code to Andrew and Marty, and then I have one left.
When I saw the mirror in, I was just like,
Except mine was so laggy the first time I played. It was that I tried to run into a door, and I just like glitched.
yeah,
I landed it
Wi-Fi
tilted
doesn't
too.
allow it either.
And it is.
That's why I was glitching.
Do you play against decent people?
I think so.
How did you ever win a game?
The guy I played against was really smart. And I shot him twice. It's up 10, so it's just like.
That's not my blue.
I think it might just be loaded.
It better be.
I can join you on the PS4 though.
Seriously?
Yeah, when I it'll say mobile next to my name, you know.
What you should do is we should have one day just like sacrifice
Oh, dude.
and us join you, and then actually no, because it'd be cross-platform. It'd be cross-platform.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because when we play,
Cross-platform.
I know when we play with Gabe though, it's like we play with Gabe on PC, so it's
I talked about it.
Gabe Pride. Gabe.
I really do. I feel like it was. I just talked about it.
good. I'm just reading at the moment.
Thank you, bud. Grandma, do you have the quizzes graded?
Grading.
I'm grading them now.
You're welcome.
No.
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 Ditch us. Ditch us. Yeah, you can stop doing these and then you ditch our class. They're weird. They have problems. My computer like
That's not.
I was. You see the faces? Okay.
Why do you think that it's about you?
Because
Maybe it was about her.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Maybe it's not her.
I'm not that she said.
Why do you think the world revolves around because Milo feels stronger. I'm so we're not gonna talk about you.
No, this is the way the fifth hour has been since fifth hour.
Since fifth hour. Well,
Too bad. Then next year when there's a new school year, choose a
I can't take them to that because no one's in.
Yeah, we can.
Then why are you upset?
Cassidy wants to like sit up.
Let's eat up the burger.
You don't have to sit down. You just have to find a place where no one's sitting. Because no one else is gonna move.
I'm not for you. What is?
No, they're not assigned. We just all sit here every single day.
And salt. To make it not
You are disgusting. You really thought I would.
Well, the Chicago just gave us like the old fifth last year. We're supposed to stay.
Yeah.
You were
I looked back at the sheet, I was like, I didn't get any of the both singular or plural right.
I was like,
Well, that means they're all wrong, so.
oh yeah.
They're all pronouns.
The singular and plural, I butchered those. Yeah. The
I butchered
singular
all of them.
ones were the ones that I actually knew. The
Oh, yeah, that's the
other one.
Oh,
I
and
did
then
like
I think
that.
the always plural.
Oh yeah.
I would fail that.
I just started talking to myself, like,
Alright.
seems like it would be.
I know.
It'll be a plural today.
And then you open it. Oh, you know what?
I did rest good on the rest of the quiz. Just that part was like.
It was on our final one.
That's what I got.
Wait.
I made black, they did double hours. On the project, what? You did most of the drawing.
Cassidy, do you have that worksheet?
Because we did like the first rows and a half. Me and Johnny tried to work on it outside of us, but it was hard. Yeah.
How was your ED?
I stayed up till 9:30 a.m. on Friday, Saturday morning. That's too bad. Why did
I'm gonna make this drawing thing that you have the strings and the histograms.
Well, they're not gonna be personality. I like last night, but my sister played for it and I got rid of it. And then I pushed
It'll just fall. Like all I'm sorry.
Dang it.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Flip all the
Make sure it's a picture.
Number one, ready? Number one, the ability to do work.
Yay.
Number two, potential and kinetic.
Yay.
Number three, list 4 of the 9. When I had the 9 in there, I think the reason why I only put 9 is because I didn't want you to put the 2 main types in there, but I gave it to you. Because I asked you what the 2 main ones were, and have you use 2 of the main ones to fill out the 9. I'd be like asking the same question twice, so I think that's what I was going for, but I never clarified that, so. Number 4, height. Didn't know how many, I didn't know there was, how many people couldn't spell height.
There's probably
H-E-I-G-H-T.
Oh, so it's probably right.
Some of you guys spelled it right. This 8th period, they were like half the kids spelled height wrong. There was one that was H-I-G-H-T-H. Number 2 is partial elastic. I gave a couple of you, number 5, yeah. I gave a couple of you grace if you use synonyms for the word partial, but if you did not have a synonym for elastic, I'm sorry, I couldn't give you a partial credit for that. Alright, still not a synonym. Number 6. A lot of you had the first part of it, but not the last part of it. Energy can never be created or destroyed, but can only change forms. Okay, number 7. If you got number 7 wrong, it usually was because you didn't square the velocity like the equation says to.
Right.
And number 8, so number 7 is 100 joules, and number 8 is 71,086 joules.
0.8.
Any questions? Alright. Remember, quizzes tend to be more big picture, tests tend to be a little more specific.
Spec.com.
What's this tomorrow? I know.
Yep.
Love it. I was doing it too.
Yeah.
I turned my phone off.
Grab your cellular devices.
I gotta wait for my phone to turn back.
Nice shoes, Mari. I like them.
Right, it's lucky.
Yeah, read pages this and this.
Right.
I don't even know what exactly words. I was like really lost.
Don't mess up on a great chance to get a good test grade. Some of us could use it.
It was titled,
I thought you were
What?
Still better. Can I go get my laptop? It's actually still on.
Of the B team.
This question's smart.
More games.
I cannot do that.
Then it just sounds like
I'm not.
Crisscross applesauce.
You're not flexible enough to.
I'm not flexible to be flexible, okay? I'm still working on my schedule.
I'm gonna work on my schedule.
Russell.
Russell. Russell with one L's or two L's?
Bro,
It's one.
who are you?
Double O, not double H.
Word. That's your guy. You don't know how to
Wait,
spell
it is
it.
two.
It is?
Yeah, but you.
Everybody?
No, not yet.
You're not a true speller.
Because we know what happened to my camcorder stand the other day, and I don't want it to happen again.
Like he puts the cameras on it.
So,
Huh? Take off the